And I've had the inspiration for this look saved for like 6 months and I'm only just now doing it. But oops. But let's get right into the eyes. This is the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Palette. I love her and I wish she was a permanent staple. But alas. So I'm going to take this warm toned brown and I'm going to very carefully tap off a little bit of the excess, and I'm going to start to pat and lay down the brown. I am winging it out a bit, and I will blend out with a lighter shade after. But yeah, I am actually being productive, and this is the second look of the day that I'm doing. Because I am working on Sunday, which I don't usually do, and that's usually one of my filming days, so try to squeeze in any extra while I can. And then I'm going to take this shade on a large fluffy brush, and I'm going to very carefully use that to start blending out the deeper brown. Oh my god, so I actually watched a movie last night, and I have been slacking on my movie watching lately. Like, it has not been good. It was called A Nice Indian Boy, and I feel really bad. I have no idea the dude's name, but he was the cab driver in Deadpool, and he actually showed up on an episode of Abbott Elementary earlier in the season this year, I think. But he was the main guy, and then my favorite, Tony Award winner Jonathan Groff, was also in it. And I wanted to see it when it was in theaters, but it was one of those artisan movies, so it's only being shown in like 2 or 3 theaters near me, and they're none of the good theaters. Because my logic is, if I'm spending movie theater money, I want the good seats. And it wasn't in the theater that I usually go to, so I'm like, you know what, I'll just wait. But I was available to rent it. It was a little more than I was hoping for. Like, I was like, I'll rent it, but it's like $4.99. It was $6.99, and it was like on sale, so I'm like, you know what, I deserve something nice. And again, I haven't watched a movie in a very long time. I've watched like 2 movies this month, and that's not, with how much free time I have sometimes, that's not the vibe. I'm also going to take a little bit of concealer to kind of help cut my crease a little. But it was actually a really good movie, and I would have paid like movie theater prices to go see it if I could have. But no, it was literally so cute. I loved it. And I also might watch this movie called Nona's on Netflix. Might. I don't know how I'm feeling about it. But it has Susan Sarandon, and I love me a good Susan Sarandon. But I really don't like Vince Vaughn. So, I don't know. Alright, now I'm switching over to the Simply Posh Cosmetics Fairytale Fairies palette. And I'm going to take a little mix of Dreamy and a little bit of Pixie as well. And I'm going to lay it down from like here to here, kinda. Again, the colors are going to be slightly different than the inspiration picture, but that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Actually, I'm going to kind of place it right about here, and then just place that to here. You know what I actually need to do? I never finished Kevin Can F Himself, and like, I was so close to being done with the show too, and I just kind of stopped for no reason. Like, I love the show, I just completely forgot to watch it. So, maybe I'll try to continue that later. I'm kind of tired of rewatching Bones because I'm in like the last, what season? I'm on season 10 or 11. And it's not a good season. Simple explanation. And I don't really want to rewatch Criminal Minds because I've done that a few times. And again, after a certain point, it gets to a point where I can't watch it. Oh, and I haven't watched any of the new seasons of Criminal Minds either. I watched the first one after their reboot, or revival, whatever we want to call it. And I'm like, oh, this is not great. I think there's been like 2 or 3 seasons since, and I just haven't touched it at all. So, I need a new show. Ideally, a slightly longer show in terms of like episodes and seasons, but nobody does that anymore. Alright. So, on a little flat edge brush, I am taking the shade Mystical, and that is going to be my eyeliner for this look. Gonna stamp and kinda I will blend that in just with a different brush after. That's not the brush I wanted. I just want to get the general shape down first before I start playing around too much. My eyes hurt. But that's because I've literally had my first look off for an hour. I finished my makeup at barely 4 o'clock, so I probably took it off like 10-15 minutes after that, and it's 5:30 now, so my eyes hurt a little from removal. And I'm just gonna kind of bring it in a little. I'm mostly kind of focusing on packing and reinforcing that like teal color. And then going back in with the same palette, I'm taking a little bit of Fantasy and a little bit of Storybook. And I'm going to pack that on my inner corner. Again, not the same exact colors as the original photo I've seen, but it will make do. And because I don't want to go find another palette for like a pastel purple. A little bit of the NYX glitter primer, and I'm just going to tap that all over my eyes like I usually do. And just a little ba-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba. All of these are from Clionadh Cosmetics. And first, I'm going to go in with this shade, which is called Kaleidoscope. It's one of their glitter multi-chromes. And just going to take a tiny little brush, and I'm going to layer that on top of the little, like, pinky purple one we've got going on. I lied. I'm just going to put this shade, like, all over my lid because I forgot. It was, like, very green reflect based, despite it being purple in the pan, so... But this is going to be everything for eyes. I am going to go find some lashes, and I will be back in a minute. Second period of time. Alright, I'm back, and it's time for base. This is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. You can put on your surprised faces. Ooh. You want to know what's really funny about this specific pair of lashes? They're from Lily Lashes. I don't remember what style they are because I don't have the box with me. But until very recently, I didn't like these lashes. Like, they're fine. They did their jobs. But again, until very recently, more specifically when I do a like more specifically angled look, I wear them. And like I've been really liking them lately, and I'm like, ironic. Like, they wouldn't be my first choice of lash. Like, if I went out and I got lash extensions tomorrow, these wouldn't be the shape I'd get them in, but I like them more now. So, don't know what that's about, but ironic. And then this is from NYX. This is the Plump Right Back Serum Primer. Some of it got in my mouth. That is disgusting. I'm gonna go a little extra hydrating because I have a slightly more matte foundation than I usually go in with. So I don't want to look dry, and I don't want it clinging to any patches. Because that happened with the foundation on my nose earlier, and I don't know why. Also, it has taken 2 weeks, but most of my sunburn is healed. Like, I'm starting to peel on this arm. This arm's, she's been done. But my left arm has started to peel, so hopefully by Saturday I'll be done. Not that it matters, I'm not wearing short sleeves all week. It's gonna be like low 50s tomorrow or Thursday, I think, so I can wear pants and a long sleeve, say less. Like, I can wear pants anyways, but I can comfortably wear long pants is more what I'm getting at. And then this is from Maybelline. This is the Superstay 30-Hour Lumi Matte Foundation in the shade 96. I don't know if this shade is in the US lineup because I bought this on Beauty Bay like a few months before it released in the US. I just remember seeing the shades for like the US range and I'm like, none of those are gonna work for me. And this one's pretty good. But like any foundation, this just has to be used in like thin, light layers. Otherwise it will get cakey and dry looking on your skin. And then this is from Huda Beauty. This is the Faux Filter Concealer in the shade Royal Icing 1.1N. One of my favorites. Actually, not one of, it's like my favorite concealer ever, so. So, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but when I was putting on my lashes, I did kind of reinforce some of the purple inner corner and some of the shimmers. So if it looks slightly different, it's because I was just like adding to it just a little. It's funny. So my brother plays lacrosse. They haven't won a single game, so he's not good at it, but don't tell him I told him that. He knows, but don't tell him I told him that. And like my parents are trying to guilt trip me a little into going to his last game, which is on Thursday, and I work on Thursday. I don't get out until 4. Not out until, but his game starts at 4. So by the time I get on a train and get back to our city and then get the bus to where the game is, the game's gonna be over. And I'm not gonna text my manager and be like, hey, can you have this person come in an hour earlier so I can watch my brother lose his lacrosse game? Like, that's just not how this is gonna work. Like, I feel a little bad. Like, I haven't gone to a single game this year, but they've been a lot of away games, and most of the games are when I work, and I'm not going to spend one of my only days off watching lacrosse. Alright, now for bronzer, I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. Cosmetics Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour in the shade Fair Light. But no, what's good about doing the extra video today is now I am good. At the time of filming this, it is Tuesday, May 20th. So I'm good for Friday, Tuesday, next Tuesday, and next Friday. But I still plan to film after work on Saturday, and I also plan on pre-filming packing my makeup bag for New York, because now that I'm also dog sitting in early July, I kind of want to be able to not have to film that week entirely. So I'm hoping to get like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of when I'm actually doing things. Fingers crossed. Let's see. But we are going to blend. This is still a little damp from cleaning it earlier, so I don't know how well this is going to work. I put way too much product on my nose. But also, I cannot wait for my Kayali perfume to get in, because I mentioned it earlier, but this is a new video, so not everyone watches everything. I bought a full size of the Kayali Capri in the Bottle perfume because it got released in full sizes, and I bought a lemon scrub, and I also have a lemon bar soap. So the moment that comes, I am taking a shower in the morning, doing that entire routine, and wearing that perfume. I'm gonna be lemon themed for the day. And it says it should be here in like 2 days. I just placed my order because I just placed it on the Sephora app because it's easier to return things, and I also get more free samples that way. they're like, oh, it's gonna be here the 22nd. I'm like, already? And I'm gonna take the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blush Powder, or whatever it's called. It's the blush ones. This is in the shade Rosé and Brunch. I'm gonna take a little, pat a little onto the back of my hand because it's gonna be a little overwhelming sometimes. And I'm gonna there we go. Like, nothing too wild. I know, who am I? But this is like the perfect flush of color. And I don't want to take too much away from the eyes because this is a lot going on. Hey Siri, timer for 10 minutes. I really need to speed up my makeup. I lied. I'm going to put a little more blush on. I'm basically just picking up whatever's still on the back of my hand and just using that. Yeah. And then my favorite shade of the Colourpop Super Shock Highlighter. This is the shade Flexitarian. I think I'm actually just going to use my finger. I generally don't like to, but this is a little old so it doesn't get picked up on a brush as well. So, finger it is. Like, this one is just so sparkly and beautiful. Like, it's glittery, like you can see the glitter, but it's okay. She's stunning. And just kind of... For lips, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Cream Glide Lip Liner in the shade Baddest Beige. And it's freshly sharpened too. But lips are lined. I'm gonna blend it out now. If there is ever a day that I do not blend out my lip liner like this, I think I've been abducted by aliens, because I like always do this now. Even if I'm wearing like a regular lipstick underneath, it's just, it looks better. And then I'm actually going to take some of the Danessa Myricks blush and kind of pat that in just a little. I don't want it to be like overly colored, but I plan on putting a lip oil over, so I just don't want any weird harsh lines. Then, to tie in with the little purple shimmer I have going on in the inner corner, this is from Fenty. This is the, give me a second, I can't read this. The Gloss Balm Oil Luminizing Lip Oil and Gloss in the shade Miss Jellyfish. She's stunning. It doesn't have a lot of base color to it, but there's just a lot of shimmers, and she's stunning. Oh yeah. The shape of this applicator is so interesting. Like, it's not a bad interesting, it's just like a, I've never seen it before kinda. Alrighty, I need to go deal with my hair, but I will see you in a second. Alrighty, this is the finished look. I am loving literally everything about this. The eyes came out fantastic. The base, fantastic. The lips, I used the lip oil once before, but it's such a good lip oil. It feels so nice and smooth, and it's super glossy looking, which is a big plus. And it's just kind of insane. And my bangs didn't give me any issues, which is a little weird. I'm not complaining. Besides, they need to get washed. My hair needs to get washed. I should do it tonight. I might just do it tomorrow morning before I leave and go into work with wet hair, because it doesn't matter if my bangs look nice because they're going to be under a bandana for the next 5 days. So they don't need to look shapely. But yeah, like I said, loving everything about this.